Realized that video that I've played for the last 3 shows says demo mode. So on my system here in ScreenFlow or in StreamYard, the center of the video while it's playing says your mic is muted. So I just went over to YouTube and saw that it says demo mode. I must have exported it out of ScreenFlow. Anyway, I actually own ScreenFlow, but I had an upgraded version. Anyway, I'll fix it. I'll fix it by Monday. All right. Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Ed Rush, 5-time #1 best-selling author, your host for the most positive place on the planet for insanely implementable ideas. Today on the show, I'm going to talk about personal and business reinvention. Plus, I'm going to be taking your questions. Ed Talks Live is next. Demo mode. Seriously. All right. So, hey, sometimes you just got to go live. All right. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about personal and business reinvention. But frankly, today is the Ask Me Anything show. So it is your chance to ask questions about whatever you want to ask questions about. In a moment, I'm going to give you an announcement that some of you already know. And then we're going to get right into the Q&A. Gina Longo, I have a question that you asked me actually via email that I'm going to start with today after I talk a little bit about reinvention and the concept of reinventing yourself to purpose. By the way, if you just joined us, jump into chat on the right-hand side if you're on YouTube. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, that's right below you in the comment section. By all means, do tell me who you are, where you're from, what you do. I'd love to just introduce you to the Ed Talks Live community so that you can get to know each other and maybe help each other change and conquer the world. And without any further ado, let me jump into chat and just say hello to Barry Gamar. What's up, dude? Good to see you. I've seen you twice yesterday. Wendell, welcome to the show. Dennis as well. Aubrey, Gina, Mike Toy, Aaron Miller, who yesterday on our Zoom training had Baby Yoda as his background. Some of you remember, if you weren't on our live training yesterday afternoon, talking about Ultimate Speaker, Michael Haig was our guest, and I went off on a rant talking about how I couldn't stand The Mandalorian, and Michael Haig, the Hollywood screenwriting coach, said how much he loved it. So I thought that was awesome. John Teague, what's up? Gina, welcome. Yeah, stuff does happen. Good morning, Linda. What's going on? I got an email from you that you'll be getting back from me. Charles, good to see you, buddy, as well. Chris, Director of BizDev, Rev 5 Leadership. I love it, man. I had to do it. It was very good. All right, so today is the Ask Me Anything show. What that means is you can ask me any question you want. You're just going to put that into chat. By the way, I'm working on some technology right now to allow you to call in and ask your business questions and maybe do like a little bit of a business hot seat. So plan on hearing and seeing that over the next maybe week or so. But really quickly, big picture, I'm going to give you an announcement that will be important for you as we roll into the next few weeks. So the Ultimate Speaker event, some of you have seen that little website right there. The Ultimate Speaker event was originally scheduled to go April 24th through the 26th. Well, for obvious reasons, we didn't do a live event in Dallas, April 24th through the 26th, although some of you told me you would have been there anyway. The situation in Dallas, by the way, their restaurants and meeting rooms right now are opened up to 25% capacity. Next week, last I checked, they're going to 50% capacity. And in June, they're going to 75% capacity. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that everyone who registered for Ultimate Speaker had the best chance to get into the event and get the training that you need. My belief is that the event world, particularly the speaking world, just went under one of the biggest transitions or transformations that we will have ever seen. And coming out of this, there's going to be a way of doing business that will create 6- and 7-figure businesses when you do it right. And after watching the dust fall and the leaves collect, I realized that I needed to get out and teach this and put it into your hands as quickly as possible, because man, did the world ever change. And the great news is that that gives you an incredible opportunity to get your message in front of the right market. There are 4 ways to make money as a speaker. You can get paid checks for keynote or inspirational speaking. You can get paid for products that you offer. You can get paid for coaching, consulting, or advising, which I consider the most lucrative form of speaking. The great news, by the way, is it works perfectly well in non-selling environments. And the fourth way is make money from your books. And during Ultimate Speaker, I break down those 4 ways. We build a perfect talk for you together. I talk to you about how to be funny on stage. Michael Haig, my Hollywood screenwriting coach, comes in and talks about how to tell great stories. And normally that event goes over 3 days in Dallas. But this time, what we're going to do is we are streaming the event live. That event will start a week from Monday. So if you take a look at your screen, you will see this is the latest website for the Ultimate Speaker. So let me just make this just a teeny little bit bigger so that you can see it. There we go. All right, so this is the latest website for the Ultimate Speaker. I have no idea why I paused this video. Right, let's pause it someplace else. There, that's better. All right, cool. So what I would suggest, if you're not registered for this event, go to this website and read and find out what this event is all about. If you are registered for this event, go to the website and read and find out what the event's all about. All right, so watch this video though. This is a really important video to show you why this message right now is so important to learn, okay? And the promise is just give me a few days and I'll give you the keys to a speaking business that can pay you a guaranteed $5,000 a month or more. And important, the entire Ultimate Speaker experience is streaming online from May 26th to June 5th, okay? So I'm gonna scroll down all the way down to the bottom and I'm gonna tell you that we did something that we haven't done in the past, which is we're offering now 2 different payment options. So you have a single pay and a 2 pay. Both of those are available at theultimatespeaker.com. Okay, so it's a great opportunity. The website is right below us right now. It's a great opportunity to get in, but I will tell you, there's only so many people that I can take on the Zoom training. Okay, so we're gonna fill up pretty quickly. So if getting the kind of training you want right now to totally reinvent your business and get in front of your market as the obvious expert or leader, if you want to share your message with the world, if you want to impact the culture, this is the event for you, okay? And there's a great guarantee. All the risks is on me, and you're going to love that event. But I'm going to tell you, that's going to close very soon, so the website is below. A lot of you are ready a lot of you are already signed up for that event, and that is by way of announcement. The second announcement, which is actually really important, is I'm thinking about doing a live event. Now, I mentioned this to some of you yesterday on Ultimate Speaker Training, but this event, I'm not even going to tell you the name just yet. The event, grab your calendars and write this down, June 25th to the 27th. June 25th to the 27th. I am looking at potentially doing a live event to show you how to completely reinvent your business post-COVID. What I'm here to tell you is that as a world right now, we are undergoing the biggest shift that we have had in the last 80 years. If you look at our world, we have 80-year cycles. I can explain this a little bit deeper if you want me to. But if you take, for example, the American Revolution, at the same time in the world, you had things like the French Revolution and other countries in upheaval. 80 years after that, you have the Civil War. While at the exact same time of the Civil War, Darwin is penning his Origin of the Species. While at the exact same time, the Brits are at war in New Zealand and the colonial breakup began to happen. Okay, so every 80 years, go 80 years into the future, 1940 to 1945, the entire world is in upheaval. After it comes out a world completely different than the one that we came into it, right? Germany's broken up into all these different things. Out of World War II, you have the Russians who suck up like 15 countries, and then you have the United States, and you have a Cold War and a situation and a world situation that actually continues even to this day. And sure enough, 80 years after World War II, right now. So what I'm telling you is the world is going through a transition right now that happens every 80 years. Now, this is important. And again, I'm going to go into more depth on this next week. Every 80 years, when this transition happens, the world resets, the deck gets shuffled. What ends up happening is there is a new breed of leaders that come out of it. There's a new breed of people. There's a new way of doing business. I mean, think about it. If you're in business before the Civil War and after the Civil War, it's a totally different world, right? Before the Civil War, if you had a plantation in Alabama, it's totally different after the Civil War. Before the Civil War, if you had an industrial organization that made steel in New York, after the Civil War, it's totally different. Business is going to be completely different after this, okay? And we are going through a transition as a world that would have happened anyway. The event, June 25th to June 27th, is designed to show you how to transition personally and in business to get the kind of success that you want. Now, I know some of you are like, I will not go travel. I don't want to go to a live event. That's fine. If that's you, I totally respect that. Okay, so I'm not going to get in the way of your viewpoint. What I will tell you is there's some people who are ready to go and get into this thing, and I can tell you that we're going to do it in Dallas, taking care of every safety precaution. Okay, we've got the seating set up so that you have your own space. We've got sanitization and everything. All right, so we're totally on board. And what I'm going to tell you is there are actually two opportunities in front of you. The first one is right below. That's theultimatespeaker.com. Most of you watching right now are registered for that. The second is the June event, June 25th to June 20th. And I'm going to tell you the name of it next week. But what I'm here to tell you is if you're already registered for the Ultimate Speaker event, you're going to get credited into the June event. You don't even have to pay for it. What I'm also going to tell you is that for the next few days, when you register for the Ultimate Speaker event, I'm going to credit you into that event as well. Okay, so I'm going to give you a great deal. For example, David Zetz, who just joined us, said, I'm late, but I made it. Got hit by a samurai warrior of stingrays this morning. Down on the San Diego coast. But David just recently registered for Ultimate Speaker, so you're going to get the new event, dude. You are all good to go. All right, so if you just joined us, like David Zetz, this is the Ask Me Anything show. My name's Ed Rush. Welcome to the show. Ask your questions in chat. Usually what happens on these shows is I get like 1 or 2 questions in the first 20 minutes. And then the last 10 minutes, I get 15 questions that I can't answer. Okay, so I'm going to just talk quickly about personal and business transformation. Some of you saw I had this little website up underneath here. If you missed what I just said, Ultimate Speaker is going digital. I also am doing a live event in June that's going to show you how to pivot into the brave new world that we're in and how to make a ton of money, have a huge impact, and help a lot of people. So follow my lead. I'm going to take you to the destination, but the website, boom, is right here. There's a 1-pay and a 2-pay option, and frankly, it's an awesome deal. Okay, so today I am going to be answering your questions. So let me jump into chat. Before I do that, let me just say the idea of reinvention is critical for you right now. Now, every single business owner this last 2 months has done something I call reinvent to revenue, okay? You have had to find a different way to generate revenue. Everybody's had to do that, okay? That's reinvention to revenue. That has been necessary. So what I'm about to say next doesn't take that away. That's been necessary. But what I'm here to tell you is that now is a great time to take the next step and do something that I'm calling reinventing to purpose. Look, there is a mission that God put on your heart, that God gave you to do on planet Earth. And I know you haven't gotten there yet, and I haven't gotten there yet either. But you getting to your mission is going to make it easier for me to get to my mission. And when we both do it together, the world will change. And frankly, the world needs changing, okay? So my suggestion for you, and next week, by the way, on the shows next week, I'm going to be unpacking and unveiling this idea of reinventing yourself to purpose, or reinventing yourself to the thing that you were born to do, okay? And it's going to be thematically going into this event that we're going to be doing in June. So make sure if you have the opportunity to be with us next week, do that, because I'm going to be taking you through some exercises on how to do that, okay? Last thing, real quick, there's a website below you. See that one right there that says edrush.com/speaking. Next Thursday afternoon, 2 o'clock Pacific, I'm going to be doing a Zoom session to show you how the speaking world has completely changed as well. And you can register for that below. I'll leave that lower thirds up just for a couple of minutes. All right. So without any further ado, let me see. I think, Aaron, you just said something about Dallas. Where are you at? A lot of the restaurants in Dallas aren't opening their lobbies. It's hit or miss. I think, somebody was asking about how it is. Yeah, so, and some are, and I just talked, like I said, some of you have been to my event space in Dallas. It's not a hotel, it's a TV studio. So we're able to manage it so that it's an environment that's safe for everybody who's evolving. Okay, so sip of coffee. Don't forget Rock Creek. Don't forget my folks at Rock Creek. All right. What does this say? Oh, great. That's a good question. I will get to that. First question I had in the mix was actually from Gina, and Gina sent me this question. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually gonna type this into chat. Hold on. There. It's gonna be too big all of a sudden. I'll bet. Watch. So. All right, here we go. Let me see if I can get this underneath here. Okay, so she said, per your advice, I'm positioning myself as an advisor rather than a coach or consultant. What do you recommend as regards to keeping people from mentally lumping me in with a sort of low-paid, holistic life coach crowd when I don't do holistic and have no intention of getting certified as a coach? Totally not my style or strategy. I do straightforward, practical, not kumbaya. Last sentence was, if you know what I mean. All right, that was Gina, by the way. That wasn't me saying that. I just read her question. And Gina sent me this question via email. So I wanted to make sure that I covered it. So I'm going to jump up on the board, Gina, and answer your question. I'm going to actually give you a little bit more than you bargained for because I've got some ideas on this whole coaching consulting market. But let me jump up here and just grab my pens and jump up on the whiteboard. By the way, I've been teaching this morning. I was up at 6 o'clock this morning. 7:30, I was on Perry Marshall's live stream with his roundtable members. And so this is about my third hour of teaching today. Okay, so Gina said, hey, I'm not a coach. And I will tell you, there's sometimes you use that phrase, not all the time. My sense is from a branding perspective, the word coach, more times than not, carries with it the idea of, oh, you're the guy that I meet at Starbucks and pay $25 an hour to hold me accountable for things that you don't even implement yourself, okay? Coach also a lot of times carries with it the idea of being low paid, okay? Or sorry, being low paid or in certain cases cheap, all right? So I don't love the word coach. Now, when it comes to communication, persuasion, and influence, those of you who learn from me also know that I don't like words that I can't control the definition of in someone's head, okay? So if I say coach, somebody might be like, wow, I had such a great experience with this leadership coach that I paid $10,000 to. I want another coach. Well, if they just thought that, then you're in good shape. You could also have somebody who's like, wait, what are you, like a basketball coach or something like that, like a wrestling coach? The other thing too is this one right here, which in a lot of ways, I think coach denotes kumbaya or like you said, kumbaya or fluffy kind of advice. Okay, let me give you a couple of other examples. For example, I don't belong to an American political party. I mean, I have political beliefs about freedoms, and I have beliefs about entrepreneurship, and I have beliefs about innovation, I have beliefs about taxation. Okay, so I have belief systems, but I long since departed from the political system. Reason number one is I didn't want to be told by the tribal members what I was supposed to think about something. But reason number two comes back to this. I didn't want people to pigeonhole me into a belief system on a word that I couldn't control the definition in their mind of. So for example, if I was to walk up to somebody and I was to go, hey, I'm a Republican, okay, which I'm not, like I said, neither party. But if I was to be like, hey, I'm a Republican, half of America, about 43% actually, would be like, oh man, you're like a patriot. And about 43% of America would be like, what, you hate women? You don't like women? You know, that's so for that reason, I choose not to use words to do that. So ideally, Gina, I would call myself something that had a benefit associated with it. So, Ed, tell me a little about your business. Well, you know what? I help high achieving, high earning founders and CEOs to create more revenue, have a bigger impact, and take more time off. That's not even a term at all. It just shows the market that I work with and the benefits that I achieve. I'll do that one more time. I help high net worth. Wow, I can't remember the beginning of it. I help fast-moving, high net worth CEOs and founders create more revenue, have a bigger impact, and take more time off. Okay, so all things being equal, I would prefer to speak in benefits. Now, while I speak in benefits, I like the term advisor or advise better than I like the word coach. Now, there's a little bit of baggage that comes with that word too, because sometimes when you say I'm an advisor, people think you're a financial advisor, okay? So that's why when you communicate what you do, it's important to show the benefits or the results, okay? So for example, if somebody asked you what you did, you could just say, I help people accomplish their dreams faster with less resistance and more peace. And by the way, Gina, that's a pretty good little line that you can use right there. Like I said, I'd prefer not to have to put myself into a specific category, but if I must, I'm going to say advisor or advise. Okay, so let me come back to the main screen here. And hopefully, Gina, that answered your question, and we'll get on to the next group of questions after I just destroyed chat by copying and pasting yours. All right, Roy said, will the Ultimate Speaker session be recorded for those who can't make each session? Roy, not only will they be recorded. So what we're going to do is each day, May 26th to June 5th, those are 9 days, 9 weekdays, Tuesday through Friday. So it's Memorial Day, then Tuesday through Friday, then Monday through Friday the next week. We're going to meet this time of day. So for those of you who've gotten used to EdTalks Live, for those 2 weeks, EdTalks Live are going to be behind the Zoom paywall. Okay, so I'm going to be delivering content each day at 10, but it's going to be for the Ultimate Speaker trainees. So we're going to pause this show for 2 weeks while we're delivering this training together. Okay. Now, Roy, each day the training from Zoom will be put into a membership site, which you are going to get access to. But in addition to that, each day I'm also going to be putting in the membership site the live video training from the fall Ultimate Speaker event. That way you get the live streaming teaching content that I'm going to be teaching each day, and you get the live version video of the same teaching module. And my goal for you is to have 2 different ways for you to be able to consume the content. In other words, what I'm trying to give you is 2 events for the price of 1. So yeah, you're going to get a double benefit there. Plus, Roy, what I did mention yesterday on the show, if you're already registered for Ultimate Speaker, or when you register, if you're thinking about it, now's the time. I'm also going to credit you into this June 25th to the 27th event, or into a future event if you can't come in June. Okay, so let me go all the way back to the beginning. That was great. Thank you for asking that question. That was a very important clarification. And Lisa said yes, and Roy said great deal, and you didn't even know I was about to give you the other recordings and the other event when you said great deal. So you actually get 3 events. All right. Let's see what he says here. Question: Ed, use your strategies and got leads coming in fast and calls and got 3 verbal yeses. Bam. Love it. All right. So, and he said, what's your experience with verbal yeses? I want to get started working when things open back up again. All right, Roy, cool. Good question, by the way. So the first thing is, so I'll have students of mine who are consultants they'll email me and they'll go, and I'm not saying you did this, I'm just using this as an example. They'll go, hey, I closed the deal today. And I'll go, congratulations, man, that is awesome. You did it. And then I'll go, did you get the agreement? And they'll go, no, I'm not getting the agreement. I'll get that this afternoon. And I'm like, well, guess what? You didn't close the deal till you got the agreement. And the next thing I'll ask them is I'll go, did you get the check? They're like, no, I'm supposed to get the check Monday. I go, listen, you didn't close the deal till you got the check, And then I'll go, did you start delivering on what you promised? They said, not yet. I go, look, you didn't actually close the deal till you got the agreement, got the check, started delivering on what you promised. All right. The reason that I go through all 3 of those things is because I've had yeses that didn't turn into checks. Okay. So 2 things I would recommend. First of all, find a way to get your yeses to, at the very least, put down a first payment or a deposit. So let's say your thing is $10,000. You're going to string out some payments. Get them at the very least to put a deposit down for, say, $1,000, just enough to get them started. So for example, I do advisory work and I do mastermind coaching. And I'll be opening both of those up. Some of you have been asking. I'm going to be opening both of those up within the next week and a half, okay? So typically what I will do with somebody who's interested in working with me is before they fill out a full application even, oftentimes I'll have a refundable deposit that they'll put down to begin the application process. Here's what the refundable deposit does. It takes away anyone who's a tire kicker and it brings in the serious people. Now, if a person comes in, puts a deposit down, we have a good discussion, but realize that maybe not a right fit, coaching's not a right fit, or advising isn't a right fit for them, they get their deposit back, right? So it's a refundable deposit, but it makes the person who's it's a serious person filter. In other words, it makes sure that the person coming to you is serious about the work that they're doing. So the first thing is I'd get them to do something, and then the second thing, Roy, is I would get into implementation. So for example, let's say so I did this actually. I got a new coaching advisory client just 2 weeks ago, and the first thing I'm like, yep, I know we're gonna meet one-on-one, but let's get on the phone and let's start working now. What I want to do is get them into implementation as fast as I can, even if it's virtual. So if you're going to start them up when this thing lifts, which by the way, I think it's lifting. If you're going to start them up, then make sure that you start at least the diagnostic portion of whatever you deliver now so that the person can start to see some of the results from what they signed up for. Okay, really good question. Chat's all of a sudden got real busy. Y'all are just saying hello to each other. I love it. All right, so if you just joined us, my name's Ed Rush. This is the Ask Me Anything show. Take a sip of my water. This isn't moonshine, okay? I know I wish it was moonshine. I've only had moonshine once. It was in Georgia. At a NASCAR race. All right, so throw your questions into chat. We've got about, 20 minutes or so. And by the way, today's Focus Friday, so I'm going to be asking you to share what your big implementation item is going to be over the next 7 days. And some of you have not only implemented your Focus Friday items, but you've launched books, you've rebranded books, you've launched websites, you've launched live streams. I am proud of you. Okay, so let's jump in and go through some of the other questions. I think I missed one. Oh, Dennis, you made a comment, but I'll make a riff on this real quick. Dennis said, my speaking business pay me only through keynote speaking and a tiny bit from book sales. I'd really like to develop my business into that 6 to 7 figure income. Yes. So the truth is this whole environment is a catalyst to create something new. Let me give you an example. I've had fitness folks who are clients of mine in the fitness world who have been trying for years to create an online fitness version of their fitness studio and have had difficulty for 3 years trying to create an online version, because if people are going to work out at home, they would use Peloton or P90X. And all of a sudden, in like 3 days, their entire gym, like you heard Todd Durkin's interview on Tuesday, their entire gym is now online. 3 days, because the whole world totally shifted. I mean, Saturday Night Live, the hosts are streaming from their home, Okay, so I've had regenerative medicine doctors who've been trying for years to get telemedicine working with very little success. And all of a sudden, in a period of a few days, they've got telemedicine practice, not because they were doing something wrong, but because the world changed. People just were ready for what they were preparing. And as the world changes, the way speakers, authors, and experts communicate will as well. And so, Dennis, I'll take you through this process, especially if you're going to come in June. But part of the process involves reinventing yourself around purpose, getting clear in your market, dialing in your message, and then media becomes very important, where you gather your leads from. And I will tell you that I'm more and more, you'll see this in the weekly flight briefing next week, I'm more and more convinced every single day that the best strategy for great business owners right now is to focus on one piece of media. We used to teach 5, 6, 7 years ago to do something called multicasting, broadcast yourself out to the world. put your message everywhere. And in certain cases, that still holds true. But in most cases now, it's like focus on this one media. Dial that in and get your leads from there. So for example, right now, I'm quadrupling down on LinkedIn to find and target my ideal clients right there. So I'll give you a little bit more on that as well. All right, cool. Good question though, or good comment. So thank you for that. Okay, if you just joined us, my name's Ed Rush. This is the Ask Me Anything show. I did give you an update. If you just joined us and you're not aware of this, I gave you an update. Ultimate Speaker is going live. If you are registered for the Ultimate Speaker and you did not receive an email from me yesterday, you need to let me know at support@edrush.com. We send an email out to everyone who's registered for this event because I'm going to be sending something to you in the mail. I'm going to send you the manual for this event in the mail, and so I need to make sure your address is right. So if for some reason you didn't get an email, check your spam folder. And if it's not there, you let Delisa know ASAP, okay? So let's jump into a little bit more Q&A, and I'm bouncing around on chat, so I want to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Okay, Chris says, I have a good buddy who wants to transition careers to the speaking world. What advice will you have? As you mentioned, the industry is dramatically changing. So Chris, the website below. Send it to your friend. All right, so because here's the deal. We're going to go for 2 weeks, 1 to 1.5 hours a day, and I'm going to unpack the new world, okay? So I'm going to give, and by the way, Chris, you said I have a good buddy, but we all know that you're asking this question for yourself. I'm just kidding. It's probably is a buddy, but I'm asking for a friend. So, all right. So the first thing is there's 4 ways to make money as a speaker. Keynotes, keynote checks, product sales, coaching, consulting, advising, book sales. Okay. Now, this one here has basically completely come to a screeching halt. Right now, for the most part, people are not paying $5,000 to $15,000 to bring a keynote speaker into events that don't exist. Okay. There are some examples where people are getting paid a little bit to come on to a Zoom call and train corporations that way. That business model has not taken off. And the truth is, it probably won't fully take off. Now, there will be an opportunity for that. I'm going to talk about that more on Ultimate Speaker Training. That leaves these 3. So you've got product. Let me just do this on the board. Might as well. All right. You've got 4 ways to make money as a speaker. I might do a whole show on this, by the way. All right. So you've got keynote or checks, basically fee-based speaking. You've got products. You've got coaching, consulting, advising. Okay, and you got books. So let me just do this. I'm gonna be clear. I'm not taking these off. What I'm telling you is this one has been paused for now. It hasn't been paused forever. You watch, the event industry will come back. It's not going to come back right away, but it will come back. And so part of Ultimate Speaker Training, starting on May 26th, ultimatespeaker.com, is I'm going to be talking about this, especially how to prepare yourself for when this comes back. There are 2 or 3 things that I want you to do online right now to prepare yourself for this, okay? Now, in the absence of that, I'm going to work in reverse, okay? In the absence of that, this is my lowest and my last thing that I usually revenue from as a speaker. Now, I love books. I'm going to be talking during the Ultimate Speaker Training about books, but let's just take this one off for the sake of argument, okay? That leaves products, coaching, consulting, advising. Now, I've made, at this point, over $10 million from speaking. Best guess, and by the way, it's probably about 12 to 14. It's probably about 12 if I had to guess. Okay? Best guess, 85%. Right here. I used to do for example, I used to go speak 2012, 2011. I used to go speak at bar associations. Like Aaron, you're familiar with this. I'd go into a bar association full of attorneys, 20, 25 attorneys, not even that many. I'd fly to Chattanooga, do a 1 hour talk at a bar association where you can't sell anything. I would deliver my talk. People would come up to me afterwards and go, hey, it sounds to me like from your talk, we should cancel our contract with FindLaw and work with you guys. And I'd walk out of there, well, not walk out, but within the next week or two, I'd have a $15,000 contract and $2,500 a month. And by the way, that $2,500 a month, I'm not talking like 2012, that's still going. I sold that company, but these guys are still paying this, right? Think about that for a second. That's 8 years at $2,500 a month, okay? That's a good business. Like if I told you, hey, I'm gonna give you $15,000 to go to Chattanooga to do a 1 hour speech. If somebody told me that, I'd be like, when is it? I'll be there tomorrow, next week. What is it? I'll take the 15K. Okay, well, listen, I went to Chattanooga to give a zero fee talk. They didn't pay me to come in, but I walked out with a $15,000 client and I built a 7-figure business doing that. I'm gonna give you the formula for that. I'm gonna give you the talk. If you're registered for Ultimate Speaker, I'm gonna give you the PowerPoint that I used in that talk just to show you everything that you get, okay? Now, this world right here, and actually this is probably more like 80% because this here is probably 12% or more of what I made. This world right here, this product world, this world just took off. I did a training a week ago. There are about 100 people on the Zoom training. I offered a $200 product. Some of you saw this. This wasn't our show. I did it on our show too. I offered a $200 product. I had 20 people, boom, like that, buy a $200 product. I'm just telling you, I would not have been able to do that a year ago. Not on a YouTube Live, okay? This world right here, this world just opened up. So when you come to Ultimate Speaker, I'm gonna teach you how to build a talk that at the end you can offer your products, because there are events that people will bring you in to speak where you, like for example, 2 months ago, right before COVID, the lockdown, I spoke at Bill Glazer's event. I sold a $997 product and I got 11 people to buy it for $997. 11 times 997, that's like 11,000 bucks. All right, and I walked home with those sales. That's this. So if I was starting a speaking business right now, I would do 3 things. 1, I would solidify my personal brand online. I'm going to talk about that right here. Number 2, I'd create a very inexpensive to produce but high quality information product. Number 3, I put together a coaching program or mastermind program, and I'm going to teach you how I'm doing all this, not only pre-COVID but post-COVID. Okay, so let me jump back into the board, which means, man, if you are registered for this, I mean, I can't not talk about it. Like if you are registered for this, I know I keep talking about it. It's gonna be awesome. And it starts a week from Monday. All right, so I'm gonna go to the rest of the questions because I know I got some questions coming in here, and we got about 10 minutes, and then I'm gonna take your Focus Friday stuff. By the way, if you just joined us, my name's Ed Rush, 5-time #1 best-selling author and your host for the most positive place on the planet for insanely implementable ideas. I think I'll just leave that website up. So today's Focus Friday. So in a moment, I'm going to be asking you what your big focus area is for the next 7 days. All right. Barry says, obviously with meeting planners having to scramble to reinvent their meetings, are there other places to contact them other than LinkedIn? You've been successful at engaging them. So Barry, you saw this when I did this with Yakov. There's those lists of meeting planners, and I've connected with meeting planners and done some work that way, but I haven't really dialed in the LinkedIn marketing strategy when it comes to meeting planners. If I was right now, which I am, I guess right now, I would be reaching out to people who have coaching groups, mastermind groups, other training groups in the space that you want to target, and ask them if they'd have you on as a guest. That's speaking, by the way. You being on Zoom, so y'all know this because I've said this before, but speaking includes being on a Zoom meeting, being on a YouTube Live like we are right now, webinars, webcasts, teleseminars, if people do teleseminars, live streaming, media interviews, and more. And I can tell you, I've made money in the last 2 months from things like this live stream, being on other people's live streams, being on other people's Zoom meetings. That's speaking. Like I said, 2 hours this morning, I was on with my friend Perry Marshall, who had his mastermind group. It was 25 people, right? So it wasn't thousands of people. I should do this next week too. I don't have time to teach it, but I have a new philosophy I'm teaching called wide, not deep. Okay, 25 people. But listen, I would be surprised if I didn't end up with a 25K client out of that group of people. Because if you're in a high-end mastermind, you're more likely to be in another high-end group or to work with somebody. And next thing you know, you're going to get a little bit of business. Okay, so those are the ones that I would recommend. All right, quick one here from Mike Toy. Do you recommend ClickFunnels? What CRM do you recommend? All right, so first of all, let me do this. I'm going to share my screen. All right, and I'm going to give you something. Oh, that's not my screen. Just like in the F-18, we used to call it a finger fire when you start pushing the wrong things. Okay, Mike, if you go to edrush.com/free book, I want to give you a little bonus here. This website right here, this is the best converting website I've ever had converting to leads, ever. Look at it. Simple, 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 simple. Okay, book, headline, boom, get the free book. This was created in ClickFunnels. If you want to see the original, go to edrush.com/take-the-shot. Check this out. That's the original right there. Similar, right? You can see the book, the button, the book, the button. And by the way, all the testing I've done shows that see that button, instead of a place where you put your name and your email, that actually bumps response too. There's something about people clicking on this little thing right here. There's something about people clicking on it that makes a really big difference. Okay, so both of those pages were created out of ClickFunnels. So I like ClickFunnels in terms of lead pages. I like ClickFunnels in terms of sales pages. I should have my affiliate link. I've got it someplace. If you really want it, I'll send it to you, or just go try it. Now, that's ClickFunnels. Now, the CRM is a little bit more of a difficult question, because the truth is, so I use Infusionsoft, or a company that's now known as Keep, for my CRM. And I've recommended them in the past, by the way. I'm not recommending them now. I'm not thrilled. I'm just not. I've got 700 plus people inside of there that are getting charged every month in my memberships. And I think if it wasn't for that, and the fact that I'm used to it and my team's used to it, we may be off using something else. So I used to recommend Infusionsoft, Mike. I'd love to recommend it. I don't have another great solution for you, because I personally don't recommend things that I'm not using for my business. And so I haven't used another one. So that there, like, I wish I had a better answer for you. So if y'all have something you like to use, throw the link in the chat and we'll take a look at it. Okay, boom. Let me go back. Let me get into some more other questions, but I got to find them in chat. Oh, Aaron. Oh, that's good. He said, I missed a couple of Ask Me Anything. So if you've already answered it, I apologize. What's the black and white thing on the plaque over your left shoulder? I did answer it, but I'll answer it again. So that says Training Squadron 7 Student of the Month. So that's a tail hook. That's a tail hook. And actually, I've got, it would take me too long to go get it. I actually have in the corner of my office, I have an A7. That's A7. That's an A7 tail hook. Well, it's a miniature version. I have an actual A7 tail hook over in the corner of my office. One of these days, maybe I'll bring it in, lug it in. And I did a show one day where I went through everything that was in my office, the ram's horn, the helmet, my journals that are down there. I could probably find the link for that if you want. All right, cool. Let me make sure. Yes, Chris, moonshine, hand sanitizer. It's like the same deal these days. So very good. Let's see. Did Roy say something about LinkedIn? I might have missed that. Okay. So, Mike. So he said, what do you offer that law firm that they keep you on monthly retainer? So When I built this business back in 2012, Mike, it was a digital marketing agency for attorneys. So we'd speak at the Bar Association, teach, and I'm going to teach this presentation. I'm going to show you why this presentation works so well when we get into the Zoom training for Ultimate Speaker. But I would teach here the 10 things you need on your digital marketing. And it was like a blog, press releases, articles, videos. And then what we would do, Mike, it was as a service business, we would create all those and do everything for the law firm. So $15K was all the setup, website build, all that stuff. $2,500 a month. They would get 4 blog posts a month, 2 press releases. We'd write an article. We'd spin some stuff in terms of videos for them, local promotion, local marketing, help them with their testimonials. It was a service business. It was one of the reasons why I didn't last long there. Okay, it was like I didn't want to build a team. I didn't want to have 20 people, and they did. They did a great job. My partners, who I'm still close with, by the way, good friends with. When I sold my shares of the company to them, they took it and ran and did a great job. But that was a service business, so it's great. Let's see. Yeah. Well, that's what they called it. Maybe that's why they named it. Maybe that's why they changed it. Roy says Zoho's great, $35 a month. You can use get their whole business suite, CRM, and everything else. So just full disclosure, never heard of it, and I haven't tried it, but give it a shot. This is just a member of your community sharing some goodness with you. Okay. So Dr. Edwin Berry says, I'm happy with Drip. All right. So Richard, good question, man. So he says, you use Kajabi. What about that? Are you a Kajabi affiliate? I love Kajabi. Okay. I'm telling you, I've used it ever since the beginning. Jonathan Kronstadt, their president, I know very well. I absolutely have an affiliate link. You can just go sign up for them, but email me. I've been talking to Jonathan actually about bringing him on the show and doing an interview about Kajabi. Maybe we'll try to do that next week. I love it for a membership site. They've also got some lead generation tools that are quite good. They also have a payment profile that's very good. The only thing I don't know about Kajabi is their full boat CRM in terms of their email deliverability. Everything I just mentioned, though, I absolutely love it for. I really, really love it for membership sites and membership hosting. And those of you inside of Ultimate Speaker, you're going to be seeing that in action. Okay. All right. A couple of quick questions. All right. So Roy, if you have a rep at LinkedIn that can help me, I've submitted 4 times to be a live broadcaster on LinkedIn. You'd think with 10,000 connections and what I'm doing here, they would let me in. I still haven't gotten approved for that. So if you can help me with that, I would love it. Just email me, coaching@edrush.com. Again, I'd love to go live on LinkedIn. And I told them I wanted to help them launch. Anyway, whatever. So yes to that. I'd love to go live on LinkedIn. I can't figure out why they're like asleep at the switch trying to figure out, get my profile approved. And if you're watching this and you work for LinkedIn, I love you and I want to help you and bring my audience over to you. So let's do this together. Okay, Chris, quick question. I'll be in a marriage retreat with my wife, 25th to 29th. If I register for the event online, will I miss out or will there be a way to do partial? So here's the deal. Right now, Chris, this is not going to be the case even for, next week, this will cut off. But right now, when people are registering for Ultimate Speaker, I'm bonusing in that other event in June. Chris, if you can't make that event in June, I'm going to credit you to another event. Okay, so I always do an event in the fall. You'll get credit for that, which is just like, normally those are like $600 to $900, $500 to $900. So I'm just giving you that as a bonus because I just want to take care of you. Okay, so but register, get into Ultimate Speaker and register because all that's going to close out this week, next Saturday actually. Question, are you doing paid ads on LinkedIn or just organic directly? John, I'm just about to kick, I used to do paid ads on LinkedIn. I'm just about to start kicking that back into gear. So good. Barry says, Kajabi's been upgrading their email service and page builder. Very, very good. So last, yes, I know. Hey, everybody's owned by, that's the reason why you need to go out and be a billionaire, Barry. All the good people, you need to go make your money. All right. I know. Look, so what? So Google and everybody, Facebook, it's like the conglomerate, okay? But this is the world we live in. So now you got to go make billions so that you can own big companies like that. All right. Do you like a better name for IG other than Coach Zets based on what I'm doing there? So I changed my I did change my IG name, by the way, about 2 years ago. So let me think about that. But I like either just something with your name in it. That's why mine is Ed Rush Pilot. Just something with your name in it because it's versatile as you change, David, because you're not going to be the same business exactly that you are now. So I like something that maybe changes, that stays with you while you make it a little bit oh yeah, right. So I see what Barry said. Yeah, yes, I know. So or something dialed into the benefits, but like David Zetz Live, David Zetz Fitness. I don't know. Something with your name in it, I think, is actually your full name. But as it is right now, Coach Zetz is probably better than any. Okay, quick one here. And by the way, while I answer this last question, we're gonna roll into Focus Friday. Okay, so here's what I want. Tell me, do it quick. Tell me what your big focus item is over the next 7 days. I'm going to go through those, and then we're going to wrap up the show. Giovanni says, greetings from Mexico. Where can I get some advice in terms of economic calculations to start my business? I will just tell you, the first thing you need to do right now, if you're trying to start your business, is get in front of your market. You can do that for free. Tell me who your market is. Figure out who the market is. Get in front of your market. Don't worry about when to start, why to start. Find a way to get in front of your market. The next step is find a way to get them to pay you for something, okay? This is what Barry said. LinkedIn is owned by Microsoft, which means they make it difficult for small businesses. Yes, if you sign up for the Ultimate Speaker live stream, you get the recordings not only of the live stream, but you also get the recordings of the last Ultimate Speaker event. So you're getting hooked up, okay? You're getting a bonus for both of those things. All right, so the website right here. Get registered. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. And let's do this. I love the Focus Friday stuff coming in. That's the second time today, the finger fire. Okay, so here we go. This is the Ask Me Anything show. My name is Ed Rush. By the way, that picture was from the last Ultimate Speaker event. I don't know why I like that picture so much. It's kind of a goofy picture, but I like it. All right, so we're going to do jump into Focus Friday. So here's what I want you to do. You've got about 3 minutes left to tell me in chat what your big focus item is for the next 7 days so that as a community, we can hold each other accountable to the things we're going to do. Gina Longo, you are first. Focus Friday. Just finished today finalizing my advisory programmies. I'm just kidding. Gina's from over the pond, okay? So they add E's to the end of the word program. Just finished my advisory programs and made the new webpage live. Focus next week. Use Ed's advice and get the first client. By the way, Gina, I may do this exercise. I will do this exercise with you in Ultimate Speaker. Your first client is sitting on your phone. I'm not kidding you. They're on there someplace. Scroll through your contacts today. Look at every single one of the contacts. I guarantee you there's one that you're like, oh, I forgot. I talked to him last year about, and it was somebody who wanted to pay you money. Okay. Diana, 21 Day Miracle, begin to write a book on how to heal your body, mind, and spirit by growing an organic edible garden. I love it. 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 I am so excited, Diana, that you are writing a book. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be your first person that buys your book. All right. So as soon as that thing's open, you let me know and you remind me that I told you this on Focus Friday, and I'll do it. Okay. Mike Toy said he's going to be putting together his online courses. I love it. Aubrey, Focus Friday, working on her business framework. Love it. Yes. Finish your 21-day time miracle. By the way, if you haven't gotten that, edrush.com/21-day miracle. Sorry. edrush.com/21-day coupon code freedom. I know I just did that fast. Thank you, Dr. Ed. Appreciate you too, pal. Linda, focus, get lead magnet landing page, upsell in place so I can drive traffic there through Facebook and direct calls. And the one that I like best, I showed you. Let me share this one more time. And by the way, you don't even have to, if you don't want to use ClickFunnels, just copy my page. I'm not kidding, by the way, when I tell you that. Like somebody asked, do you mind if I take the page? If you like the opt-in page that I created, use it for yourself, especially you, Linda, because you're a coaching member. Barry says, finish edits on my book. I love it. Roy, closing these leads, going to implement deposit. Very, very good. Very good. Man, so aren't you glad you came today? Love it, dude. Thank you, Roy. Big focus, successfully live stream our commissioning ceremony. Could get up to $13,000 for sponsorships for our students. That is awesome. That is awesome. I should say this. I've already told you if you're registered, but if you're not registered for Ultimate Speaker, I am doing a whole segment on live streaming. That's not in the original content. I'm doing that for you. All right. Laudica, focus new content for all pages on my website. I love it. Dennis, adapting categories. Yes, you are. Because when those are ready, man, you're going to send it to me and we're going to promote it right here on the show. David Zetz, Focus Friday, get the stingray venom. Didn't Crocodile Hunter die from like a stingray bite or something? And finalize league magnet and online coaching page up by Tuesday. You guys crack me up, man. Aubrey, it is edrush.com/free book. And I think, hold on a second. I think I have it in here someplace. There. That's this page right there. And I know you're already opted in, so it's not even like a list grab, but this is for you if you want to, like I said, just model it, create a little 3D book cover and do it. I have not found one. I keep trying different stuff, and I'm sure by next year I'll have another page that I like best, but for right now, that's the one that I think is awesome. Let's see. Hey, Monica, thank you. By the way, I just watched, you did a testimonial video at the event. I just watched it yesterday. The Ultimate Speaker is great, both live event and recordings invaluable. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Delisa put the book page. Dennis Bauer. Thank you, Delisa. I appreciate that. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this airplane into a nice smooth landing, Dennis Bauer. You know what they say, a perfect landing. So a good landing is one you can walk away from. And a perfect landing is one that you can fly the airplane after you land it, okay? So I'm gonna bring this guy in for a nice smooth landing. Next week, I'm going to be talking for more than a day on how to reinvent your business to revenue and how to reinvent your business to purpose. You're not gonna wanna miss the EdTalks Live. Second thing is, I've got this little webinar going on Thursday that you might want to attend. I'm going to be talking about speaking. So, and at the end of it, I'm going to be offering the Ultimate Speaker. So if you're already registered, come on and watch. But otherwise, you're going to want to be there as well. And then some of you heard, I threw in a little bit of an extra bonus. So now's a great time to register if you want to for Ultimate Speaker. All right, a couple other comments really quickly. Yeah, stingrays are no joke. Lesson learned, shuffle your feet. Yeah. Thank you, Diana, the most positive place on the planet for insanely implementable ideas. Working on webinar live through June. Yep. It's true. All right, cool. So we're gonna wrap up the show. Let me just tell you this. It was an awesome week. Man, it feels like 2 years ago that the week started. Todd Durkin was on the show. We finished up how to charge what you're worth. We did a session on Wednesday about books. Chris Katsumas was here yesterday. Next week's gonna be huge, okay? Make sure that you're here. I'm gonna be talking about this whole reinvention and how you can take advantage of this. And I'm telling you, people are going to come out of this thing in one of two places. People are going to come out of it broke, or people are going to come out of it on their way to 7 and 8 figures. And I want you to look back 5 years from now on 2020 with a big, huge smile on your face. And I'm telling you, a lot of the world's going to look back on 2020 and frown. I want you to look back with a huge smile on your face because you made the necessary changes to make the big difference that you needed in your business to attract the right kind of market, the right kind of client, the right kind of customer, the right kind of patient, so that you can go out and change the world. That's what next week's going to be about. Hang tight. Can't wait to see you. I'll stay around and chat here for a minute or two. Man, it's going to be awesome. We're 1 week, just a little bit over a week away from ultimate speaker. All right, go off right now and change the world.